Welcome back to another episode of Morpheus Crypto. After trading in a tight sideways range for several days and holding above key support of its 10 and 20-day moving averages, Bitcoin formed a candlestick pattern known as a spinning top. And now Bitcoin is testing once again a key support level. What does this spinning top candlestick mean for the market? Where may Bitcoin be headed next? In today's video, we will seek to answer that question. And we'll also take a look at the altcoin market, see what's hot, what may be on our radar. To ensure you don't miss any future Morpheus Crypto videos, make sure you push the like button and subscribe. And let's dive in. The spinning top candlestick that we're referencing is this green candle that you see right here. And a spinning top candlestick is formed when the wick of the top above the body and the wick below the body is roughly equal in length with a relatively narrow body. And what that indicates is a tug of war between the bulls and the bears, with neither party being a victor. It indicates indecision in the market, and that often is accompanied by higher volume. And that was the case here as well. Notice how volume that day surged higher, which if we would have closed near the high of the day, that would have been bullish, a higher volume up day. Closing near the low of the day would have been equally bearish, a higher volume down day. But we closed right in the middle of the range. So, and we're basically seeing the bulls and bears in parity. Now that happened just yesterday, and today we see that Bitcoin is struggling to stay above its 10 and 20-day moving averages. Now, we bought Bitcoin in the Morpheus Crypto portfolio back on August 8th when the price broke out above the 10-day moving average and this week-long consolidation. So we're long from 29,280. Now, that breakout ran into resistance of the 50-day moving average, which gave us a little bit of a profit buffer. And we've been watching carefully the price action since then. And notice how for basically a full week now, the 10 and 20-day moving averages have acted perfectly as support. And that's what you want to see. We did not retrace the full move of the day. It would have been bearish if we violated the low of this breakout day. But notice that even yesterday with the spinning top, the lows basically just undercut and held at the lows of the August 8th breakout. So since the bulls and bears seem to be battling it out right now, let's be prepared by looking at both the support and resistance levels that may be in play in the next couple of days so that you can be prepared for where the market may be headed next based on a violation of these levels. So currently, Bitcoin is trading around 29,300. It's basically break even right where we entered at the trade at. Now, we wouldn't want to see the price go below the low of this breakout day, as I mentioned. So 29,100 is a key level. In fact, we may tighten our stop to just below that level to really minimize our risk, basically almost scratch the trade. But currently, our stop is below the low of the range. So 29,100, if this level holds up, then that's important. But if we break below this level, we break below the breakout day, we may very likely see a test of these prior lows from August, and it would be the third test. And of course, each test of support weakens it. Now, on the upside, if the bulls start to gain the upper hand and prices break out to the upside, expect to find a bit of resistance around 29,700, which was the high of the spinning top day. You can also see there's some horizontal resistance going back all the way for the past several months, right around that level. So 29,700 is a key level to keep an eye on, all the way up to 30,000, basically, because we've got the 50-day moving average at 29,870, and then you've got the highs of the breakout day. So a lot of resistance overhead, but a significant amount of support too. So until we see convincing resolution in either direction, we want to lay low in terms of entering new trades. That's why we've been careful to only enter two trades over the past week, one being Bitcoin, and the other we'll dive into in a moment, which is Solana, SOL. Next up, let's take a look at Ethereum ETH. ETH is a crypto that we watch closely because it often acts as a barometer for the health of the overall altcoin market. And we see that, unfortunately, ETH is also stuck between a rock and a hard place over the past week since the breakout day. Notice how perfectly the price has been riding in between that channel of the 10 and 20-day moving averages. Now that channel has been narrowing and ETH is slipping below it. And as of today, ETH has slipped below both its 10 and 20-day moving averages, but is clinging to the lows of the past several days right around 1835. Notice that is a key level of horizontal price support. If we break below that, then we could see a test of support down around 1815 and then again around 1805. So those are the key levels to watch, 1805 1815 and around 1836. If the bulls get the upper hand here and Ethereum catches a bid, then obviously we got to get above this 20-day moving average, which is at 1850. That would be a constructive start, although we notice that the price has moved above that 20-day moving average at least 5 times over the past week, and each time it's faded when it's run into resistance of it. If we do get above that 20-day moving average and stick, then the 50-day moving average is at 1877, and there's lots of resistance from prior highs all the way above that. So Bitcoin looking a bit better than Ethereum at the moment, and that's kind of confirmed by the fact that we're not seeing a lot of great setups in the altcoin market as well. In past cycles, when the altcoin market starts its bull phase, typically what you'll see is just a few cryptos at first that show relative strength at high volume, followed by an increasing number of cryptos that join the fray. So one thing we look for right now is an increasing number of altcoins showing relative strength. We haven't been seeing that. In fact, we've been seeing a decreasing number, with most cryptos showing rather stagnant price action, much like Ethereum has been in a tight volatility contraction over the past week. Now, the longer that we see a volatility contraction, the more powerful the eventual volatility expansion. In other words, the longer this sideways action continues in Ethereum, the more explosive we're going to see of a move in one direction or the other. Now, that's the key point. It could be in either direction. As always, we would want to see that confirmed by volume. Volume should always surge higher to confirm a move in either direction, heavy selling or heavy buying. Another signal we look for in a altcoin bull phase is we look for follow through in the altcoin setups. So in other words, when we see relative strength breakouts and we see breakouts from bullish chart patterns, we want to see them following through by consolidating or forming a bull flag pattern and then moving to new highs several weeks later. And lately what we've been seeing is more failures, where we get a one-day rally attempt, even on strong volume, and then it fades. And that's not necessarily a good sign for the market. So keep this in mind when analyzing the current state of the market. Again, this is not financial advice. As always, this is just what we see in the charts. And that's how we base all of our swing trading decisions at Morpheus, is looking at the charts. It's very important to always trade what you see, not what you think. While we're not seeing bullish follow through in a lot of altcoins, there have been a few that are bucking the trend, which is encouraging, and we'll continue to keep a close eye on them. One of them is RUNE, RUNE, and notice here it's just been on a steady march higher over the past 8 days. And after breaking out above its 50-day moving average, notice the volume started surging higher. We always talk about volume. Volume is the gasoline behind breakouts, and the stronger the volume, the more powerful the move you could expect the breakout to be. And when the volume really kicked in, the price really started to rally, and we basically got about a 50% gain here in 8 days. A part of the Morpheus trading strategy is we don't chase breakouts. So in this case, what we would do is we look for a potential pullback entry in RUNE, potentially a bull flag pattern to form over the next week or so, or some type of consolidation, or maybe even a pullback to the 10-day MA. And that could provide a relatively lower risk entry point for a potential swing entry. In this case, we'd want to see the volume decline as well on the pullback. And of course, it also depends on market condition. HBAR, HBAR is also on our radar. Over the past 2 days, it's really just ignored the weakness in the market and just broken out to new highs and following through today as well on strong volume. So HBAR, we're adding that to our relative strength watch list, as well as RUNE. Solana, SOL, this is the only other position the Morpheus Crypto portfolio is currently holding. And we bought SOL on the same day we bought Bitcoin, which was the breakout day on August 8th. We're long SOL from 2408, and it's currently showing about a 3% profit. Still consolidating. Price action has been holding up pretty well. It has been showing solid relative strength because as the market's been drifting sideways to lower, SOL has actually been drifting sideways to slightly higher. And the consolidation period was lighter volume. We didn't see any heavy volume selling, which is key. And notice that the 10 and 20-day moving average acted as support just yesterday, where the price action firmly bounced off it on increasing volume as well. And today we're still holding above that 10 and 20-day moving average. So nice consolidation in SOL. When we see a crypto with relative strength moving sideways when the rest of the market is slightly lower, then that's a good sign, because typically that crypto will be one of the first to break out to new highs and surge higher with just a bounce in the market because of its relative strength. So that's the idea of relative strength trading. But if the price action would suddenly fail and break below the 20-day moving average, then we would look to get out and basically scratch the trade. At the moment, RUNE, HBAR, and SOL are the only cryptos on our relative strength watch list. Not seeing a whole lot out there that impresses us in terms of relative strength, but as always, we'll be scanning hundreds of charts every day to look for new and emerging relative strength, and we'll continue to keep you posted in the Morpheus Crypto chat room. Now, stepping aside from the relative strength watch list, there are a few charts that we're keeping an eye on right now. One is COMP. COMP was a massive winner in the DeFi sector in late June till mid-July, basically almost tripled in just 3 weeks. And so, of course, when you get that type of a move, you can expect a significant correction. But notice that the correction sliced right through that 50-day moving average, didn't even bounce off it, which is unusual. And that was infected in part by weakness in AAVE, which was being affected by news. So we do have probably a bit of a fundamental situation holding down COMP at the moment, but keep an eye on it because if COMP starts to reverse, could be in play for a potential bounce above the 57.25 area, above resistance of the past week. Although note, this is not a relative strength play at the moment. This would be a quick bounce play, would require a tight stop, and you'd want to probably sell into resistance, at least partial position at the 50-day moving average. More of an advanced trade idea. Thanks for watching. That's a wrap for today. We'll see you back here in the next episode of Morpheus Crypto. And by the way, if you made it this far, thanks for bearing with me with my voice. I'm not trying to imitate Barry White. Hey, baby. It's actually just a bit of a cold that I got. So thanks for sticking with me there. And we'll see you back again in our next video. By the way, if anyone out there is not yet a member of Morpheus Crypto, you can find out more about our crypto swing trading picks and crypto education at morpheustrading.com. Have a great day. See you again soon.